welcome to Folklore Unlocked. I'm Austin, and like always, I am joined by Ethan.
Yep, hello again, everyone.
And finally, this week we are covering the missing 411 theory. And for those who don't know, the missing 411 theory was established or thought of by David Politis, and he's a former police officer that started a series of books and films that documents disappearances, mainly in national parks that are quote unquote mysterious, though the statistics show the disappearances aren't really all that mysterious. And in those books and films, he states that his research into the missing 411 phenomenon was started when he was doing research into just like general research into national park, and the park ranger who knew who he was asked him to look into what the ranger felt were mysterious disappearances in the park. Now, I don't think he ever states which national park it was, and he never don't think he ever states the ranger's name, which, in my opinion, kind of muddies the water a bit in this sense. But each their own, I guess. And Polius says he's found evidence of negligence on the part of the Park Service, which led him to broaden his research worldwide, and says he's found other disappearances which defies logic. And according to Sober and Coincidence, which is a book Politis wrote in the Missing 411 series, he doesn't have a definitive theory, but does have a list of strong suspects, which I couldn't find this list of suspects that he talks about. So, seems like a credible guy.
Yeah, and I don't think I would agree that like some of these cases defy logic. I mean, they might be a tad bit mysterious, but defies logic definitely not.
Yeah, and I'm not trying to call David Polite a sour or anything, but he just doesn't fully share everything he knows or and stuff like that. And then probably one of the most famous, if not the most famous, missing 411 cases is the Dennis Martin case. And Dennis was a 6-year-old from Knoxville, Tennessee. And Dennis, his father William, grandfather Clyde, and brother Douglas were on a camping trip in the Great Smoky Mountain National Park for Father's Day weekend in 1969. And apparently, this camping trip was a family tradition of sorts for the Martin case when he disappeared. I'm going to add that the missing 411, I guess, overlay is it's usually around bodies of water in a national park. The people are that are found are typically found, if alive, in places that they had no way of getting to, or if they're found not alive anymore in places that the searchers have checked at least once, if not more than once. And a lot of times, like we'll come to find out with this case, they're never found again. No, no clothes, no shoes, no nothing.
Now, why is it called the missing 411? Is there a reason why 411, or do you know?
I'm I'm not sure.
I'd say I couldn't find anything about that either. I didn't know for sure if you knew, but it's just kind of just a weird, like, I guess theory or something, why it's named
Yeah,
that.
yeah. The Lure Lodge kind of does a good good job of explaining it, probably better than we can do. But finish this episode, then go watch the Lore Lodge videos on the missing 411.
Well, anyways, the disappearance. So Dennis and Douglas, among the children from another family that joined the Martins during their hike to play a prank on the adults. And the children hid behind bushes and trees and at 4:30 p.m. on June 1969. And Dennis was last seen by his father going behind a bush, and then he was never seen again.
And the search start started when after 5 minutes after Dennis missed his cue by William, and William searched roughly 2 miles down down the trail they were on. After and that then the group sought help from the National Park Service after several hours of searching, which probably should have called them in before several hours passed. I'm not knocking the Marnes. They were probably freaking out because this 6-year-old kid was missing, and so I understand they were probably panicked. And then 3 inches of rain fell shortly after Dennis's disappearance, which probably didn't help things because rain tends to cover up tracks. And like I said, no traces of Dennis was found in the initial searches, and separate search groups, including the Green Berets, also found no trace.
Now that's surprising that the Green Berets couldn't find anything at all.
Yeah, because if you don't know, the Green Berets are like these elite soldiers. So if they couldn't find anything, you know there's probably nothing to find.
And I'm surprised that like Dennis could get lost far enough into like the forest in 5 minutes that he could not have heard them yelling or searching or anything like that. That's a little mysterious that like 5 minutes you can get that lost. Which it's in the Smoky Mountains and I mean it is huge, but
Yes, but even the Green Berets couldn't find clothes, shoes, socks, anything of Dennis's.
mm.
So it's like he just vanished.
Now the area that Dennis disappeared in the Smoky Mountains, of course, we have a map here and also a picture. It's a pretty big area, and I mean, it would be easy to get lost in there. And the area also has bobcats, copperheads, bears, and feral hogs. So even if you were just dealing with the like weather and stuff like that, it would still be hard because of all the animals and everything like that. So
Well, like we mentioned, William, Dennis's dad, saw him go behind this bush. So he knew where Dennis was supposed to come out from, and he might have been in that bush 10 minutes or so total. Maybe. So, and apparently didn't see, didn't hear anything. I mean, so like a bobcat, a bear, or a, a wild hog got to him, you'd expect to hear something.
definitely, definitely.
And really only a bear or feral hog could really carry a 6-year-old off because bobcats are only about like 20 pounds or so, and copperhead ain't dragging anything much bigger than a bird or mouse off, really.
Mm. Now, the possible explanations for the disappearance is that he got lost and then ended up dying from exposure because we did hear that there was 3 inches of rain. I don't know about the temperature it was, but that itself would be pretty bad. Also, attacked by a hungry bear or feral hog that could have been there and then carried off. Then also, there's the option that it could have been abducted and taken out of the park by someone or something, which would explain why the Green Berets and no one else would have found anything.
Yeah, I think the getting attacked by a bear or hog is unlikely since Dennis was so close to his family and the other family that they should have heard something if it was a bear or hog that attacked Dennis.
Mm.
In my opinion, bears and wild hogs are too big to move in any sort of silence, especially being that close to humans. And really, bears aren't really people animals.
That's a good way to put it.
Bears tend to avoid humans unless provoked. Hogs, on the other hand, yeah, they'll attack a human just kind of just because you looked at them funny. But my if I were to guess, he either did get wander off and he got lost and died of exposure. And I guess he could have been abducted and taken out of the park by someone. But I think that's less likely due to the proximity of the families to where Dennis was last seen, but still more likely than the hungry bear or feral hog attack.
Yeah, I don't think there's really very much mysterious about this. About the only thing I think is mysterious that he just disappeared completely. Like they couldn't find anything of it, any pieces of clothing, any like footprints or anything like that. And the case most likely ended up the the kid most likely just ended up getting lost. That's my guess. And then I mean possibly down the road, could have been found by an animal or something like that. But the only way that I think the only reason I think it could have possibly been abduction is just because, like I said, nothing was found. So if he would end up dying of exposure, there'd be something left behind, and we still have never found anything.
And there's other missing 411 cases out there, and I think the theory is just something that Politis just kind of connected like the obvious things for these tragic events. And I think the most obvious explanations are usually the correct explanations in these cases. Just because that's usually what it is.
Mm.
Any last words this week?
Nope, I think I'm good.
Well, next week we're moving on to the Pine Barrens of New Jersey, and we're going to visit the Jersey Devil. So, see you next week in the Pine Barrens. Like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you next week.
Yep, bye everyone.